Destiny show. Why is this show called this, you may ask? So I'll tell you. The accept me an evangelist messenger and the accept me of destiny is to make them establish. So my guest and I being your messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And of course, I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I'll introduce you to my wonderful guest, Liz Almond. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means a lot to us to connect with like-minded people. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Rae, and I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy and a guide who helps you remember your divine presence so that you can heal your past, create your future, and transform your present to expand your consciousness, understand your spiritual path, get clarity on your next steps, and take charge of your destiny so that you can fulfill your purpose in this lifetime. Now, each episode of this show covers various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation and or angel oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's returning guest, Liz Almond, about how you can stay on track with money, maths, mental health, and spirituality. Now, Liz is known as the mindset shifter and is an inspirational and multi-award winning spiritual teacher, business coach, mentor, author, and holistic therapist. Liz works with midlife professionals who feel stuck, frustrated, or unfulfilled to help them feel happier, empowered, and confident, as well as feeling more balanced and with clarity in their life purpose. Often her clients are caring for elderly parents, and this is a key aspect, creating them stress due to unhealed childhood trauma, and as we'll find out, various maths and mental health issues. And they've also got menopause, bereavement, and emotional eating are her specialisms. Now, Liz uses multiple advanced energy and mindset techniques to help her clients shift negative emotional baggage that they carry so that they can feel more energized and get back to on track with their lives. She's also a trainer of multiple therapies, including neuro-linguistic programming, Reiki, the balance procedure. She is passionate about challenging and changing perceptions about mental health to assist individuals to be well again and to understand the links between spirituality, mental health, and money. So, without further delay, hello, Liz, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Lovely to be back again. Thanks for asking.
Brilliant. Oh, you're more than welcome. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Liz and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy, even if you're just saying, hello, I'm here. So Liz, why don't you tell us more about your journey and money, maths, mental health and spirituality?
Okay, so spirituality to me, came late, I think, in understanding what it was all about. So although I became, got interested in Reiki and had my first Reiki attunement in, 1998, I think it was, I still didn't really understand what it was all about. Okay. So I would say that I've done a lot of things backwards in understanding what it is. So both my parents were teachers. My father's still alive, but both very logical individuals. And that's where I was coming from, really, is very logical. So from a point of view of the sort of spirituality and understanding the angels and being there, whatever, I go, really? Do angels really exist? I'm actually an angelic Reiki practitioner now, so I do believe they're with me all the time. Yeah. Okay, but I didn't for a long time, and I would think I'd sort of didn't understand. And a lot of the journey has been about slowing down to actually get guidance and understanding of things. Like I was sharing something when we were just off video about dementia neurodiversity and maybe the link as part of it that was sort of given to me as I was just thinking, not before meditating. So my journey has been quite challenging, I would say, up and down, and trying to work out what on earth is going on. And a big part of that has been about mental health. Big part of that has been money, the maths, and it's all part of my spiritual path. So in the mind are we're thinking health, wealth, and happiness. Okay. And we have a belief set around that and what we're saying to ourselves when we're training in linguistic programming. So I'm very keen to listen to my own language of what I'm saying in here, but also other people's language. And I can see what's going on with other people. And I can see what's going on with me. And I'm thinking, oh, this very interesting what's going on and paying attention. I do have to be a little bit aware of not necessarily always sharing what I can pick up on other people, because it can offend.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson earlier on in life, to be a little bit careful about how I shared things with it. So when people go in rapport with me or got to know me a bit more, then I'd say, would you like to know, what's going on? So I had an accident in 1996 and didn't work. That was probably the first sort of real big health issue for me. It didn't work for 2 years. And that's how I sort of fell into holistic therapies and, slowing down, because actually I've got a history of having quite a lot of accidents, have an accident, have time off, reflect, change career, basically. And actually, when my behaviour was looked at in very much detail, or maybe part of the mental health, looking at your thoughts about what it was, I'd actually learned as a child to, if I hurt myself, I got more attention, which isn't really a very helpful belief to have, but because I'd keep tripping myself up with accidents. So if I ever have clients with accidents that are having many accidents, I go, I might need to look at that with you to see if you've also thought that at that time as well. So me having this accident in 1996 led me on a journey of learning a few holistic therapies to really not to actually get qualification in them, but I was just trying them out on myself to get myself out of chronic pain. I wasn't really trying to help other people. I was trying to help myself. I'm perfectly honest. Okay. But I got fascinated in holistic therapies and what they were doing and whatever. And before I knew it, I'd done all these different qualifications to a very high level. And, I hadn't got any pain anymore. That was interesting, wasn't it? I hadn't got a heart complaint anymore. That was interesting. Yeah. Now, full disclosure, according to the NHS, I've still got high blood pressure. Whether I do or not now, I don't know, because I haven't done blood pressure recently. But so I am medicated on certain things, even though I fight it. I go, no, I don't want to do it. Sometimes when people going, but you'll die of a heart attack. It's like, it's quite hard with the holistic to, like you were talking about your mum and statins. It's like going, do I believe them? I don't believe them. It's very difficult, because I do believe we can heal everything. That is a big part of mental health and understanding what that's all about. Because our path is one of ups and downs and learning from it, etc. So when I'd had this accident, I'd learned some therapies, etc. I became a teacher, and I excelled. I got up to I was head of teaching and learning at Northwest Kent College until 2011. And at that point, I became a Reiki master. I'd done, in the same year, I'd done my neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis and timeline therapy up to master level, and my stream technique. I was therapied out that year, and I became a Reiki master. And then it all started going wrong, actually. After I started having a business. Okay. And it's like, you think it would work, but actually I became depressed when I first started my business. It didn't go how it was supposed to go. And my husband at the time, his business was going well, but he didn't charge enough. And that was part of the problem, really. And then by the end of 2011, when we first sort of started my business anyway, I said to my husband, can we go on holiday? Because we'd had a miscarriage that year, we'd had 2 failed IVFs. It'd been a very challenging year. I'd had redundancy, challenging year. Took the holiday. He got sick on the holiday. He got pneumonia and we're away.
Oh no!
Came back from having this holiday. Within a week of him getting back, get back to good health. My mum and dad were involved in a serious car crash, and my mum died after 10 days. And my cat was put down in the same week as well. So a spiral of mental health started happening with myself, but the rest of the family could not cope because of their mum was so integral in their life. I don't have children, but they have children. And for me, it led me on a very different journey of being a carer, supporting family members who are having quite significant mental health issues as part of it. And it massively affected my finances. That was all sort of part and parcel of it, really, because you can't concentrate on your business if you're worried about somebody else, or you're taking on appointments, or you're doing different things. And there was, a lot of that sort of went on that was sort of affected, as well as me being very laden and finding it challenging. But also within 2 years of that, my husband decided he was going to leave me. Our debt started to spiral, which I should say, started to spiral up, because actually he hadn't told the truth about having money for the holiday that went on the credit card. So that was starting, the debt got up to about £38,000. During this time, Mum had died, things were happening, whatever, and it absolutely spiraled up. And my husband then left me in 2014 with all of the debt, has never addressed it at all, and left me, to deal with it, because he wanted a natural child. He couldn't actually have, he wouldn't, foster or adopt or whatever. That was what his destiny was. That's what he was doing, and is what he's done. To be fair, that is what he's done. But I went down. Yeah, I was trying to earn money going up, and actually in business, if you're not feeling good and if you're healing and you've got a lot of trauma going on, it's not a good time. But actually, I couldn't even step away from the healing. I wasn't being allowed. I was not being allowed at all to step away from the therapies at all. I was trying to. I got to try to get a job in Tesco's and different places I didn't have to think about anything. No, not being allowed. That was not part of my journey. So the depression journey was to actually, every day to write a bit of my book, Are You Worth It? A Spiritual Guide to Managing Your Money Mindset, that I wrote in 2015. It came out at the start of 2016. Because it was, I got so low that I really thought about to just end this, get rid of the debt, get rid of what was going on, because I was so low. So many things had happened. But I made a decision to actually change it and thought, no, I've been given all these gifts of all these therapies that I've learned how to. I'm going to use all the therapies, everything I know on myself, to get myself out of it. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
But, it's about, I had to learn to slow down and learn to get the guidance, learn to actually change it. So my money was being affected, not just because of what was going on emotionally and whatever, but actually I'm not good at maths, and that is actually also part of the problem too. That I'm very good with words. You tend to find people are either good at words or good at maths. Generally, people aren't good at both of them, to be honest, if you talk to people on it. And words has always been my thing. And but in business, if you can't project numbers in your mind, you can't add things up, know where your money's coming. So if I'd be like, I've got to pay that bill and I've got to pay that bill, and I didn't know how to project profit and to look at profit, all those sort of calculations. And I spent so long trying to do my accounts, not being able to do them, and other people having to try and help me do them. It was incredibly stressful time, all because I didn't know how to do basic maths, because it made me feel uncomfortable. And how this fits with mental health is it stressed me out an awful lot, but it's also had massive blocks in earning money myself, about my own self-worth, to be able to teach other people about what I knew, because I do sound like I know it all, because I do actually know an awful lot, because I'm at such a high level of what I've been taken into, and I know that I'm here for many people to support them. But it's been such an up and down journey to try and learn what is it about, and having to learn to be, because when I go back to what I said about the logical thing, ask the angels, well, how do you do that then? No, we just say, please, can you help me with this, please? But I couldn't even grasp that, that concept about what it was. Or when people said, ask the universe, ask them what is the universe? Because I've not been brought up in a spiritual way. I've not been brought up with parents who are mediums or believed in it. My father was religious in a way, and he did go to church, but no, I certainly didn't believe. Like I said, I wouldn't practice to God. Yeah, actually, it's all one, isn't it? At the end of the day, but I didn't appreciate that's what it was about. So it's been a very rocky road in changing it, and I'm really aware of especially in business, but also in other work that people do, that actually they're maybe not getting the support they should do to help them improve what's going on in their life. And part of it is about their neurodiversity, and part of it is about being able to embrace those gifts. It's actually my creative mind is absolutely amazing. No, but actually it's about knowing how to channel my energy to do things. And actually there's a list of guides about what's the thing to go through to next. And maybe write a few more things down so I can see a bigger picture about things, because I'm very detailed about things.
Yeah.
So I'll get stuck in the detail and don't see the big picture, what's really going on. But I think there's an awful lot of business owners, especially entrepreneurs, who maybe already know that they are dyslexic or dyscalculia, or they suspect they have ADHD, or they may be autistic, that don't realise that they actually could be getting support, or they may have a disability and they don't realise to get support to actually either get into work or to stay in work. So, for example, if you've lost a parent, for example, you're supposed to turn up at work the next day, aren't you? You're not given compassionate leave, really. If you've got a nice boss, you might get a few days off. You might take a week's holiday to get over it. But you're not really given proper support to deal with bereavement or deal with things. And actually, that can affect your confidence. It can affect your mood. It all links into menopause as well, which is one of the things which I specialise in as well. They're all sort of hand in hand together. But your self-worth takes a massive bashing. Especially when you're a carer, especially as you're on low pay, trying to support somebody else, etc. There can be all sorts of different things that are actually going on for a person. But there is a scheme called Access to Work, if your listeners haven't heard of it. It's on, if you just either Google Access to Work or go on the government website, gov.uk, they'll be able to find out that information about Access to Work. Just a simple form to fill in. And actually write how they're what disability that they have. So it could be hearing loss. I wear hearing aids outside. So at the time when I applied that sweat, I didn't have Bluetooth. So I was saying the NHS was saying they wouldn't give it to me. I didn't even know you could have it. It was only because my uncle, who's 82, had it.
Oh, wow.
That I didn't know to ask for it. And I was told, oh no, you can't have it until 2025. That's when your next hearing test is. You had your hearing test last year. I was like, well, I didn't know Bluetooth existed on hearing aids. Why would you ask for it? Yeah, I mean, I had two phones. I had my business phone and my work phone, and I having to have the loudspeaker to try and hear what was going on. It just wasn't practical and wasn't good for my well-being. Miraculously, after I sent an email into the NHS saying that I'd applied through Access to Work for Bluetooth hearing aids, that afternoon I got an appointment for Bluetooth hearing aids after they categorically told me, no, you definitely won't be given them. I'll appeal for you, but you won't be given them on it. Thank you, angels. They helped me on that one. I'm getting what I was meant to get. But often people aren't getting those things. They don't even know to ask about it. Which is a bit worrying, really, that people don't know that it even exists, because the scheme actually supports up to £66,000 per person per year, depending on obviously what your disability is on it. But it's huge. So it could be the fact you're menopausal, that you're actually you've got brain fog and you can't concentrate, and you need some changes in how you're working, because you can also get mental health sessions on it that you're given quicker than you would do on the NHS, because the government knows that it's actually better to keep you in work. It's cheaper for them to keep you in work than just to pay the support as part of it. So as part of neurodiversity, which is what I am a coach to actually support somebody who gets this coaching from Access to Work, you actually can get up to £2,500 worth of coaching. If you've got ADHD, there's various equipment you can get. You can get Remarkable, you get a support worker to support you. So actually at the moment, I don't technically qualify for the support worker, because I've not earned enough of my business last year, because I've been so busy doing an employed job to actually get the support worker. Yet for 10 years, I should have been given a support worker within my business. So if somebody's got dyslexia, they could have, when we call it a support worker, we don't mean like a physical person necessarily here.
Yeah.
We're talking VA, or a bookkeeper if you're dyscalculia, who's actually doing your financial side or your word side of your business that could be blocking you from being able to move forward on it. So clients with ADHD, for example, find it very difficult to switch off, very difficult. They're all over the place, basically. So it's about supporting them to actually learn how to. The coaching is sort of a mix of therapy as well, for them to work out how to act differently themselves in different situations. Why are they getting stressed? Because somebody who's neurodiverse will have bouts of depression, which is just repressed emotion, basically, that they need to work on and change. So it's also about, so your health is your wealth. So the more that you understand about your health and how you'll maintain your health and practice self-care, the more wealthy you'll be, because we are all very valuable, but we don't treat ourselves as very valuable. We eat the wrong things, drink the wrong things, don't have good habits embedded, etc. And this is about actually changing who we are to actually be a better version of ourselves by doing that. And one way to do that is, often people say, well, I haven't got enough money to do that. I can't buy the supplements because I don't have the money, or I can't have a holiday because I don't have the money to go on holiday. Well, yes, you can work more and work hard and whatever, and that's not necessarily a good strategy. But if you start unpicking your money beliefs, you'll find that actually you'll probably have some faulty beliefs around money. So if anybody is local in Kent, I've got a free money mindset workshop on the 10th of January, which you're more than welcome to come to, where we do that. We look at people's beliefs about money and how that's stressing them out, because it can be even like men manage the money and not me. Could be a belief. Okay, that and that's actually the sort of thing that would destabilize you when you're older. If you've got a partner and then the person, your partner, dies, and if you've got that belief, you'll go totally out of kilter because you've got that belief, because you can't do it by yourself. So it is important to unpick what you're saying to yourself around money, because it will be linked to your self-worth and what you feel is how valuable you are and what you can do. But I mean, money is also linked, obviously, to using the gifts that you have to serve others. That's a massive part of it. And the more people you serve, and the better you serve them, the more that money will flow. And it's all about, I was talking to a carer earlier I think she's got 3 different people that she's supporting in the house. Very, very challenging. And she's still working 15 hours a week as well. And still got a young child as well. So going, what are you doing? And she had no support as well. And then it turned out she was people pleasing behaviour. She didn't know how to say no. I went, right, you're going to promise me you're going to learn from this moment. I was giving you lessons about giving and receiving. And saying, if you just keep give, you'll just go, and then they'll die, and then you'll go down. Is that really what you're wanting? Because she was from an Asian culture, which is very much, you will look after us when we're older. Yeah. I'm all for caring for the elderly, don't get me wrong. I'm not, but those everybody's in charge of their own health. So just because somebody's old doesn't mean that actually you have to care for them. Everybody actually does have a choice. And I was saying, do they have any money so they can actually, have carers coming in, whatever? No, they don't get money, but they are on benefit. Then you've got social services you get in touch with, and social services can supply the care, and then you can just do the cooking and cleaning if that's what you want to do, and have your life back, rather than this whole. And she's also an interpreter as well, so having to get into that sort of whole journey of things as well. And she can't pay a mortgage, because she's having to work, because she's she's supported. It is a bit screwed up. So that's how some people are living, unfortunately. But actually, that was for her. The lessons are about understanding her value and understanding that if she looked after herself more and had better boundaries with the people around her, she'd actually earn more money as part of it, and be more supportive to she's where she's working, she'll be able to support people better because of it as well. So I think people understanding more about what they're saying about money, but also having a real awareness, if they're not good at maths, there could be that aspect of dyscalculia going on. The great thing with access to work, you don't have to be diagnosed. so you can self-diagnose yourself. Okay, because some people are worried about, well, if that's in my records and that says that could affect insurance there, etc. No, you can just be self-diagnosed. Now, at the moment, I haven't had a chance to ring Access to Work to say, well, I had there was a gentleman I was talking to the other day who was worried about having the mental health sessions with Access to Work because it would go on his record. And I don't think they're actually linked, but I want to check. What you have done with Access to Work, is that linked in some way? That would, because he was worried it affected life insurance, so therefore he wouldn't have any therapy. So I ended up encouraging him to have private therapy, where it's very likely your records will be seen by anybody. To be honest. So no, go and pay for it yourself. He did have the money, so they did say that might be the better option. So he didn't have to worry about it, because he did have a lot of things going on and really needed support as well. So yeah, there's lots of things that people can do to change how they're feeling. And for me, I'm just have this awareness of bringing lots of strands together over the years of different things that have happened about health. So I'm now working 3 days a week for a carers charity. I'm going into GP surgeries and chatting to people about their disability, or like if they're a carer or they got both. So I've kind of been sent really to see what's going on and to support. The challenging part I have is I'm identifying people for Access to Work who I could coach, and I'm not allowed to tell them that I can coach them.
Right,
And actually, for somebody who goes through the Access to Work system, you have to find your own coach. But how do you know whether they're any good and whether they can do what you really need them to do? Because you don't want any old coach, if it's neurodiversity, because they could, not do you any favours, basically, as part of it. So you do need somebody who's a specialist to be working with you on it. So it's kind of, I think there's a slight flaw in the fact that when you apply for Access to Work and you go, yes, you can have support work, but actually there's an awful lot of paperwork as well. So
I'm not good at paperwork, and you've got to fill in paperwork.
You're your piece of paper going, whatever. It reminds me, I haven't sent something off. But I'm currently having my coaching for my dyscalculia, doing I'm telling the coach what I want done on me, back, because I know that I need certain things, but I need somebody of a high enough level to be working on me, on things. And the paperwork is like, so like trying to work. It took my employer 2.5 months to decide that I could have it, if they're not paying for it, but they have to physically pay for it. So basically, if your employer has less than 49 employees, then it's then you don't have to. It's all funded by the government. If there are a large amount of employees, then the employer starts having to pay for it. It clearly said because I work for a charity, that they didn't have to pay for it, but they still sat on it trying to work out how it's paid, and I had to keep going back to Access to Work. So what's the form to fill in that they have to do to be able to claim it and to go back and forward? So it is a bit laborious, but it's still £2,500 for the coach, so it's worth doing because it's working on you and taking you to the next stage. So I basically fill in a form because we're now via Zoom with a coach or whatever. I physically send my form to my coach for her to sign it, to say, as my support worker, she can do it. She's had the session, and then she sends the invoice to the employer, who then pays her what should pay her, and then they claim back that money. That's how it works, basically, for Access to Work. So your employer is involved, but if you are a business owner, you do have to have a turnover of 6,500. It's around 6,500 a year, which isn't that hard to meet, really. And they generally would ask for a business plan, etc., to check that you are sort of a kosher business, as it were, to go through. But also somebody trying to get into business, but they might have neurodiversity or they might have confidence issues, etc., would be given a job coach to actually support them into that setting as well. So it's well worth, if you think there's confidence issues or there's disability or whatever, applying, because I know a bit of what access to work can offer. I'm still going, oh, well, I've had this before. It's not that I want more. But it's about making sure people are aware that they can get different things. So I know somebody else who's had standing desk, they've had remarkable, they've had wrist supports, they've had all different things to support them to help them stay in work. So you shouldn't be in your workplace and feeling uncomfortable. No. And that goes for whether you're self-employed or whether you're employed. So it's about having that awareness that there are things available to support you, basically, that is there for you.
Sure.
So
yeah, I was just going to say, we've got Rachel watching. Hi, Rachel. Debbie watching. Hi, Debbie. Lucy, Aaron, all watching. Who've said hello. I know there's more people watching, but they're the ones that said hello. So if anyone has got any questions, that are that have come into your mind whilst Liz has been talking, please put them in the comments. And if Liz can answer them, she'll absolutely answer them for you. And because they're it is such a wide thing, about mental health and working and forms to fill in. And I mean, I didn't even know about decalculus.
Yeah. It's most definitely a thing. It's hard to diagnose, so I'm not going to go through a diagnosis myself. I know I have it. So there's very clear signs. So when I was at school, maths, I got a grade F for. I needed a maths tutor. I did get a CSC 1, so technically I do have a maths qualification. But I got an F at my O level. I went to do my BTEC National in Hotel and Catering because my first career was hospitality management. And I failed the unit for accounts. I had to have a one-to-one tutor to help me get through that because you only got one chance to redo it, or else I'd been off the course. I failed it. I went at university, had to fly back from the Channel Islands to redo my accounts unit. I clearly remember being in the lessons. He was called Rod Thomas. But I remember the tutor, and he used to work these things out like long division. And go, you do this, oh no, I've gone wrong. And I just looked at going, I've no idea.
Whatever.
And I learned that actually he would set homework and he never took it in. So I just never did the homework. So it's not a surprise that I failed, really.
Really?
I was always so confused about it. I was so confused with double entry bookkeeper. I didn't know which was debit and credit and what that even meant. But a lot of it is also how you're taught as well. So I'm not auditory at all. And a lot of it was auditory in how I was being taught. I'm very kinesthetic. So if somebody gives me a piece of paper to move around and whatever, I go, oh, I understand. I can do it. But if you're telling me something, I'm not absorbing that. I just don't do it. And regardless of my hearing loss, that's sort of a later thing from in life. But it's definitely the way that I'm taught the different things for me to understand. And that's exactly the same for somebody who's dyslexic. Somebody who's dyslexic is very visual, always visual. But we've been taught by phonics at school, by sound. Yeah, so it's about relearning and developing our senses, which just goes actually into, from a spiritual point of view, our clairs, our clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, etc. skills. They're all the same thing. We think in pictures, sounds, feelings, or logic. It's just about developing those things. And that was a big eye-opener for me when I was going to spiritual development classes and going, oh, you talk about these things, that's just what we do in NLP, and how we represent different things. So I believe you just become flexible in the different types. So if I'm not particularly visual, although my next book, when I eventually get it out, is Awakening the Vision Within, which I think is hilarious, the fact that it's a visionary thing. And I'm not visionary at all, particularly from a point of view of visualizing something and seeing something, although I'm getting better at it. But it's a skill you have to just keep seeing. So I don't naturally see pictures of mind. I have to feel it to see it. Yeah. So if I want to be in the Maldives, that's where my twin sister is at the moment. Because this is her house. I'm looking after the boys. you have to feel that I'm actually in the Maldives, and I have been to the Maldives, so I can feel that. That was when we went for my honeymoon. Feel I'm in the Maldives, but actually see it, and I can see exactly where I am. Yeah, but that's but it is about tricking the senses on it, and anybody can do that, and that's all links to your mental health and how you're, it's just thought process of what you're going to do and directing yourself at what you're going to do, etc. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Well, Aaron, this isn't our spirits and the Angels and Spirits show today. This is my other show. But I do, as always, when I do the shows, I always like to ask my guests whether they would like me to do a mini guided meditation or put an angel oracle card for themselves and those watching. So, Liz, what would you like me to do?
Ooh. We're just about to our new moon, aren't we? Tomorrow, all going over because I'm buzzing away. Well, I'm going to say card.
Okay. Funny enough, I have the cards in my hand.
There you go. You see.
There you go. Yeah, and so Aaron, although this reading isn't for you personally, this is for Liz. It's for Liz and everyone who's watching. So it's a collective.
We're a reflection of each other anyway. So.
Exactly. Oh, that's a whole different topic.
It is. That's what I do.
Which could go on forever and ever and ever, and probably even get me banned. So as always, I give the cards a quick cleanse and a bless. Now, obviously, when I do the cards for what you need to know for your highest good in the present time. So even though I work with the past, when I take people back into the past, it's so they can learn and heal from the past, so it doesn't affect them in the present. I want to take people into the future, it's so they can see and understand their future and know the steps to take. So when they come back to their present, it doesn't affect them and they can stay in their present. So what does Liz and everyone who's watching this live on the replay need to know for their highest good at this moment in time? Okay, so let's see what we're going with. So we have got a beautiful card, Wandering Path. Enjoy the journey.
Ah, very nice.
Which is very interesting with, what we've been talking about, etc. So what it is, so what they're saying is, it doesn't matter where you're wandering on your path at the moment, which route you're taking. What they're saying is just enjoy the journey. Don't think too much about that you should be going down this path or that path or that path. It's kind of like just going, okay, just let the universe guide me. Which path am I going down? I'm just going to enjoy this journey. And if I get to a certain point, I'll just go, okay, where are you going to take me now? And let it take me on another path. So it is saying, at this moment in time, don't be set on a particular path. Just allow yourself to be guided and enjoy going down that path, whatever that may be. So quite a good card, especially with what we've been talking about.
As I'm seeing the fox, I'm going to go Google fox and spirituality later.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw a fox the other day. What night was I see a fox? It must have been Saturday night. There was a fox. I was with somebody and a fox sort of went down the side. I also had a frog actually as well. I found a little frog in my front room. Well, actually, somebody said they thought it was a toad. So I haven't, we'll see.
Oh.
It was small, so I don't know whether it is a frog. They said because there's no ponds. I don't think any of my neighbours have got ponds, and there has been a toad around. Years ago we used to have a toad that lived in the garden, so it might be a toad. We don't know, but we definitely had a frog or a toad in the front room randomly. Not sure how it got in there.
Yeah, so you need to look at fox and toad and I actually dreamt about being chased by a large dragon. A large snake the other day.
Ooh, yeah.
I know, shedding of skin.
Oh, okay. Well, it's becoming who you're meant to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Liz, do you have any insights or thoughts or last words of wisdom to leave our viewers?
I think My words of wisdom would be slow down. Like you said about enjoy the journey, always focusing on your happiness and your health. And if you're not happy, I'm not saying there'll be days where you'll feel and whatever, use a technique to help you get up, with it. But also, if I said to myself at that time that's actually causing the negative emotion and negative feelings, because when we actually dig deep, we have up to 120,000 thoughts a day. There will be something that you said to yourself at that time that is actually creating that negative, and the learning is to actually unpick what that's about, so you can then feel better. Because we only have one life at the end of the day, although there are many lives that we're going on to maybe, but to enjoy it, because we fill our time with so many things and helping other people and it being overwhelming or whatever, and then we just don't notice what's around us, which is a lot of pleasurable things.
Yeah, beautiful words. Definitely worth paying attention to. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful, because I know I definitely have, and I certainly learned a lot of new things today. So Liz, if people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
This thing really is my website, insightfulminds.co.uk, or Liz at insightfulminds.co.uk. I do have a Facebook presence, but I'm less on there, but more than welcome to send me a friend request if you want to be in touch with me, etc. I'm always open to that, really.
Perfect. And what I'll do is I will put those links in the comments after the show. That the people can just literally on your website or your Facebook and go straight there without having to worry about putting them in. No, you're welcome, Debbie. Thank you so much for watching and saying hello. And I'm glad you've enjoyed the conversation. And again, thank you, Liz, for sharing your wisdom. It's been absolutely amazing. And of course, if you are now ready to remember your divine presence and step onto your spiritual multidimensional path, but perhaps you feel lost, confused, or stuck or alone, then please feel free to reach out and connect with me, and we can arrange a free 20-minute video call to see where you are now and how you can move forward to actually take charge of your destiny so that you can spread your wings and soar. And of course, you can receive a free future life progression recording to discover your destiny by singing to your future, so that you can get guidance and clarity that you can use in your current life, as well as a couple of other free gifts if you want to sign up to my newsletter. And again, thank you ever so much for watching. And I'd like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you, and could really do with, hearing Liz's wisdom on there. And of course, if you've been watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when the show goes live, or I post new guided meditations. And even on Facebook, every comment, like, share really does help with the algorithms and helps get my message, and more importantly, the message of my guests, out there to more people who actually could do with that guidance and advice. And I look forward to you all joining me same time, same place next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.